Hello, my name is Marie Stoecker and I am from Southern Illinois University Carbondale seeking a bachelor's degree in mortuary science. And this is the video portion of my application for the SCI scholarship. The first question I would like to answer is, what do you feel are the most important issues and challenges facing the funeral service profession today and why? I believe one of the most important challenges facing the funeral industry today is the increase of fraud throughout the industry. This is mostly generated from pre-need trust being tapped into and abused by those trusted to maintain them. The money that has been lost from these is costing funeral homes their livelihood by having to absorb the costs that were supposed to have been guaranteed to the family. I believe the funeral industry can easily be compared to Wall Street, and that is a multi-million-dollar industry with a constant cash flow. This makes it very tempting to take advantage of people in their time of need. These actions can poison the industry, making it harder and harder to build trusting relationships with new client families. And just as on Wall Street, where years of fraudulent activity began the economic crisis we are in today, the same wrongful practices done by funeral directors has brought a negative feeling upon the industry. We as funeral directors need to remember why we are in this profession, which is to serve our community by maintaining their trust by honoring their loved ones. The second question is, how would you explain your role as a funeral director and the value of services you can provide to a family who is considering having no services for the deceased? What can or will you do in terms of honoring the deceased that they cannot do on their own? As a funeral director, I have the job of arranging the services according to the wishes of the family, religious traditions, and their financial situation. It is my responsibility to assure the family that the final arrangements for their loved one will be handled efficiently and professionally. As a funeral director, I also remove the burden from the family by planning and executing the funeral so that the family can spend time to comfort each other. If a family was not intending on having any sort of services for their loved one, I would ask if it was a financial issue or a personal request by the deceased to not be seen. If there was a financial issue, I would suggest other options such as a simple memorial service that could be held in our chapel or a church or even a family member's home. If it was a request from the deceased, I would explain to the family that the funeral services are to comfort the living and serve as closures for those who need it. The third question I would like to answer is, what personal qualifications and/or special talents do you possess that would be an asset to the funeral service? I believe that I have the greatest gift of compassion, which is a characteristic needed to succeed in this field. A funeral director needs to have compassion for the families and what they go through when losing a loved one, which also includes the desire to help those families work through important decisions in a very difficult time. Also, I believe that a funeral director and embalmer needs to have the compassion in order to do the best job possible in preparing a body for a public viewing. I believe I am a very understanding person and would be able to relate to the client family on a personal level. This would show that I can serve the family in any way possible. Thank you for your time.